Back in the early 90s, Super Mario World introduced us to a powerful and complementary friend, Yoshi. This new sidekick could eat enemies, stomp on spikes, tank hits, and even give an extra boost when needed. Everybody saw his standard green color even without playing the game, while plenty of players ventured deep enough to find Star Road, where you'd discover that there's also blue, red, and yellow variations, along with their unique abilities. But it turns out there's many more colors and possibilities to enjoy and admire when we really look into what's been discovered over the many years since its '90 release. Here are all the Yoshi colors in Super Mario World, including secrets, glitches, and cheat codes. Starting things out with, Green Yoshi is standard, available right away, and around 20 other times throughout the game. If you played this game for only several seconds and hit some item blocks, you're probably going to run into this guy. But if you want to see his variations, it'll take some more secrets and exploration. Next, Blue Yoshi is available just a couple more places than red or yellow, since in addition to Star Road, you can transform your Yoshi into a blue one in 3 different spots. Blue Yoshi is a major fan favorite due to his ability to fly. Typically, just a blue shell would grant this ability to Yoshi, but any shell for the Blue Yoshi will give you the ability to take flight. The 3 bonus levels for this transformation are in Cheese Bridge area, Yoshi's Valley 2, and in the Special World, Way Cool. Of course, Special World is beyond Star Road, and that's where we find a couple other opportunities for the next Yoshis on the list. And as a comprehensive bonus, let's include these special colors in the castle and Boo House cutscenes. Next on the list, Red Yoshi. There are 2 of them, both available in Star Road 1 and 4. You encounter all of the Star Road Yoshis as babies hatching out of their egg, and after helping him take in some nutrients, this gives him the ability to transform. Any shells you take in as this form come out as fireballs. It can be fun if you're in the mood to blast away your enemies into coins. Before moving on, here's those cutscenes with Red Yoshi. The next color has some weight to it. Yellow. Yellow Yoshi, this guy thumps with every landing while he has a shell in his mouth. These boots were made for stomping. You find just 2 yellow Yoshis in the game as well, in Star Road 2 and 5. And here we have those cutscenes with Yellow Yoshi. These 4 colors, green, yellow, red, and blue, are part of a 4-color theme in Super Mario World, as depicted by their 4 switch palaces, the 4 colors of the Koopa shells, and the bigger picture, the Super Nintendo logo, as shown in the background of Special World, and even the 4 birds on top of Yoshi's house in the very beginning of the game. But the next 2 Yoshis are glitches. Gold and silver performed with specific movements to manipulate their appearance. While these tricks are coined as Gold and Silver Yoshi, you could certainly nitpick the colors and argue that the gold is a slightly different yellow Yoshi, or that the silver is a gray Yoshi, but of course, yellow and gray does not have the same ring to it as gold and silver. Their shoes match their color. It's strange that their arms are purple, but it's not too distracting, kind of just looks like part of their harness. There are limitations to these colors, more so with the gold, but let's talk about the silver first. Silver Yoshi is a glitch you can perform on the stage Outrageous in Special World. It involves getting hit in the right place and letting Yoshi run off the ledge, and standing in just the right place to manipulate a bullet bill cannon. For whatever reason, the bullet or bird on a completed file will come out of Mario. Or Luigi. And this should mean that the trick was performed successfully. After exiting the stage, we can now see that we are riding on a glitch. And this glitch happens to look different when performed with Luigi. Displaying this red glitchy square, while it's not pulling an overworld image of him, he's completely visible and functional amongst all of the stages. His special ability is the same as the yellow Yoshi, where he thumps on the ground when holding a shell. There's a lot of novelty to seeing these uniquely colored Yoshis anywhere you can bring them, including when you enter the castles or the boo houses. He's a really neat color and a super cool result of a glitch. Gold Yoshi is our next glitch. Chocolate Island 5 is where it all takes place, where you have to follow a series of steps in order to get him to appear, and sadly, it seems you cannot take him out of the stage he's created in. You enter the stage with Yoshi and have to set things up just right, gobbling up all these spinies and the mushroom in the blocks. Then we grab a dragon coin that's just out of sight a bit above us. And finally, one particular coin in this gap, where we dismount Yoshi at the same time. Then we head back to grab another Yoshi from this block, and make some moves with this P-switch. We move it over here, stomp on it, but re-grab it quickly before it disappears, spit it out again, hold R to pan the camera over, and then move Yoshi over to the very edge of this block where you grab that single coin from. Then dismount. If you do it right, Yoshi will drop and Mario will grab a power-up off screen that you can't even see. Somehow your position had you snag the one way over to the right in the clear item block as you dismounted Yoshi. Then we move ahead to go down this pipe for the big reveal. And there he is. Somehow all of that stuff resulted in a golden Yoshi. He's a really cool color to look at. He has the ability of Blue Yoshi, so he sprouts wings to fly when he takes in a shell. It makes you wish you could take him between stages. But as strange as his appearance is, he disappears and is no longer with you after the level. Even more of a tease is that he'll be present in the bonus game if that's triggered too. As crazy and unreal as it is to see these perform glitches and appearances of silver and gold Yoshis, it turns out we're only scratching the surface when it comes to the possibilities with these Yoshi colors. Time for some codes, bugs, and exploits. Let's start out with Black Yoshi. On the overworld, Black Yoshi just looks like a light blue square. On the stages themselves though, this guy looks legit, as if he should have been included in one way or another. The thing with these upcoming Yoshis is that they're a bizarre result with a lot going on. The shells do act a bit strange, since the yellow shell gives you both the wings and stomping ability, while the blue shell doesn't seem to do anything at all, even though the red shell works totally normal. Also check that the multicolor shell grants you all three powers, so it's pretty weird that just the blue shell doesn't work as it usually does, while the yellow gives you both the flying and stomping ability. The crazy thing is, depending on our environment, this Black Yoshi will become 4 other colors that we've seen so far. In some levels, he turns into a light gray blue, if you can call it that. Really interesting color here. It's so faint, maybe there's some green in there too. It's a hard one to distinguish. These hot pink shoes are also a unique and cool part of the look. It's really interesting to see variations of Yoshi that we haven't even seen in any other game. Here's a great example of how the background changes his color. Going up into this little secret area through the pipe, we are back to the Black Yoshi colors. But then leaving again, back into the water, we switch back to how we were before. Some other settings to look at: in the ice levels, or bonus games, or underground, he also turns into an aqua color. His shoes are like a dark cinnamon red. Overall, another really nice look. We also wanted to check out cutscenes with the Black Yoshi, and he remains black for the boo houses, but for the castle cutscenes, he becomes ice blue. How cool is this guy? He looks pretty awesome. It's like he should have his own freeze abilities. It's neat that his whole outfit adheres to his blue look. It's all uniform and looks nice. Makes me really wish we could play with him, but unfortunately, it appears we can only observe him in the cutscene. He is really sweet to look at. A really big standout is bringing him to the sunken ship with all the ghosts. It actually seems we have a ghost Yoshi on our hands, which looks unreal. His color is a bit transparent, and stranger yet, it seems to change amongst all the ghosts while they're disappearing and reappearing. It just looks super cool. This would have blown away so many players back then if this was the type you could grab under any normal circumstances. What a thing to take in. The black Yoshi ends up with these multiple other results, which is super intriguing, and that's also how it works with the next color to look at. Moving on to Teal Yoshi. Now here's an interesting looking color. First of all, his overworld representation is all wacky, looking like a double vision of Yellow Yoshi, which is quite strange. But his usual appearance in the stage is quite unique with this rich teal color and matching shoes. It reminds me of a few things with similar hue, like the Charlotte Hornets logo or the comic book color of Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a really unexpected color of Yoshi. I don't think we've ever seen a rendition of him that looks like this before, not even in all of the future installments of Yoshi games and alternate skins available in Super Smash Bros. His ability with the shells, in similar fashion, the blue shell does not work again, while the yellow shell does not grant the surprise wings, although the multicolor shell does provide all three powers. So it's really strange that it only works for one kind of shell over the other, and the other powers are intact with the stomping and blowing out fireballs. Depending on your environment, things happen to your color that have a few more interesting results, in a very similar way to Black Yoshi. For whatever reason, in bonus areas, underground, and ice stages, you will have a silver Yoshi with red shoes. Now isn't that something? It kind of makes the gray or silver look that much more legit and believable. It's interesting you get the same color that we saw earlier from a glitch, but with the different shoes. Looking closer here, it is actually just a bit darker than the silver we admired earlier. Speaking of those shoes though, they do turn gray, and Yoshi becomes a bit darker too. If you play a stage with the setting of the dark sky with twinkling stars, such as in Star Road or Vanilla Dome 4, you'll have a gray Yoshi, now a little darker. It also looks like there's maybe a bit of brown in there. But we've got some other unique colors that we still haven't seen yet. Another big standout? When we bring Teal Yoshi underwater, now we've got what looks like a very strange alteration of the Black Yoshi. His outlines look all glowy, like a Yoshi covered in ink, or Black Yoshi shining with oil. It's quite the unique look to take in. These light outlines are really unique looking and stand out quite a bit. He retains his teal look for the intro of the Boo Houses, but when it comes to the castles, we have another unique look. It's not quite the same as the pink color we see from him in the future. Its color is more of like a unique hue of fuchsia. I wish we could play with him on more stages, but unfortunately, just like the Ice Blue Yoshi, it appears we can only see them in the castle cutscenes. Seeing these guys side by side makes for quite the eye-catching contrast. They're very beautiful colors, and it kind of makes me wish they were playable in the game. When it comes to the sunken ship, we are gifted once again with the very cool and appealing Ghost Yoshi. It's super interesting to see how his colors reflect what the Boos are doing. It's even more apparent than before, as Yoshi basically disappears along with the Boos. What a crazy thing to witness. It's really wild seeing how these Yoshis get affected by their settings. He even stays disappeared after the Boos are gone. This looks absolutely insane. He's so faint you can barely see him, even when looking super closely. Otherwise, it just looks invisible. And interestingly enough, this does end up being the perfect segue for what we have coming up to finish off the Yoshi list. Coming out of the tube, he goes back to the dark brownish gray that we admired earlier. To top off well over a dozen, let's take a look at a bizarre setup with no color at all. Let's get into the invisible Yoshi glitch. These look absolutely insane, but they're done on original console without any cheats. We've got a couple examples to show how this works. First, this wild action takes place on Yoshi's Island 3. The overall idea is we're going into a little secret bonus area with this pipe at the bottom of the screen. Instead of pressing the P-switch, we will end up picking up multiple P-switches at the same time. We grab the first P-switch and manage to barely float our way across, and bring the switch out with us. Then we can easily hop on our way back into that same secret area. Now we drop the P-switch overlapping with the other one, and run into them while holding Y so we can grab both at the same time. We cross again holding both of the switches, and after making our way out, we build up some speed in order to fly backward while holding onto those switches to where the Yoshi block is. And this will mess with how Yoshi spawns when we kick these switches up into his block. And you can see and hear right away that this messes with the game. It acts like Yoshi is being spawned twice. Despite looking and sounding weird, things appear normal for a bit, but here's where things get crazy. We fall down to our doom, and somehow that results in riding an invisible Yoshi. Due to the glitchy nature, things are far from fully functional. Not everything is alright with this. You cannot eat enemies, you can't even dismount Yoshi. You're just stuck riding an invisible one. This Yoshi can't be hit, but you can stomp on enemies, which is pretty insane. This same concept can be applied in other stages with P-switches and Yoshi blocks too. In Chocolate Island 5, this also has what we need. We get our hands on 2 P-switches, then kick them up into the block, and it's the same weird situation. All we have to do is go off another ledge and just like that, another invisible Yoshi has been created. Interestingly, it does get corrected when you leave a stage, even when it goes right into a bonus game, so you can dismount and function normally again. Hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Super Mario World and the wild variety of possible Yoshi colors. I'd love to know, what were some of your favorite colors? Thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoy more videos on the channel, and I also hope that you have a great rest of your day.